What it do, man? It's your boy Tribe, yo. Like I told y'all last month in Community Tab, I'm gonna be making a lot more content as soon as school's over, and I just got done with finals, so I'm excited. Even though I'm excited, I'm fake dread right now, because at the time of this recording, France just lost to Argentina in the World Cup final, and I was rooting for them. I really was, man. Me and Mbappe the same age, and we got the same everything, man. Both from France, both our families from Cameroon. I was really rooting for them, though. I really was, man. But let's get back to this video on him before I really start getting mad. That was a great game, though. Well, yeah, let's talk about it. Black superhero, I'm bugging. Superhero tier list, man. Tier rankings. Now, it's pretty simple. You got legendary / golden / S tier, almost legendary / A tier, above average / B tier, average C tier, meh D tier, and straight trash F tier. Now, before we start ranking these superheroes right here, I got a little criteria first, though. Now, my criteria, for the most part, it's simple. It ain't nothing too complicated. Like, number one, impact. What is a superhero's legacy with the people? When I say people, I ain't just talking about the diehard comic fans. I'm talking about the movie fans. I'm talking about the TV fans, too. And I say TV fans because some of these characters, they never got a movie, so the most popular media stopped after TV. Acclaim. When I say acclaim, how well known was the superhero? How popular were they? Like, if I were to go to 4, 5, 6 different people and ask them about a certain superhero and they have no idea who this is, that's gonna take a hit on their rankings for my criteria, because it's like you have to be well known to even rank as high as other superheroes, unless you just so different. 3, superpowers. You can't make a superhero tier and ranking list and not talk about their powers. If you do, then this whole list is just straight pointless. You feel me? And last, I'm gonna try to not make it least, but my personal bias. Now listen, y'all, I ain't no robot. You feel me? So when I rank these superheroes, how I feel about them is gonna take into effect just a tad, just a little bit, not too much. I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible. But that's why these lists, these tier and ranking lists, not just for superheroes, but in general, that's why they so funny. They so funny and they mad fun to make, just because how you feel may not be how another person feels. Your cup of tea may not be my cup of tea, and vice versa. So if you feel a certain way while I'm ranking hero, hey, let's talk about it in the comments, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you.
It's interesting, bro. It's very interesting because usually whenever we talk about black superheroes, we talk about how they're slept on. We talk about how they don't get their just due. We talk about how they don't have enough representation in the mainstream, which is all for the most part true. But when you actually talk about it and you actually compare their powers like against each other, that's not really talked about too often. That's why this list to me is pretty interesting. Alright, let's go. Okoye from Black Panther. She cool, you know, she a warrior. I respect Okoye, I do. I loved her expanding her role in Wakanda Forever because really her role was kind of reduced with T'Challa in the first Black Panther. I like Okoye, I do. Doesn't really have powers, but she's skilled in is hand-to-hand combat. I'ma give Okoye, she a calm. I'ma give her a C. She a C. Ooh. Spike. Y'all may remember Spike from X-Men Evolution. That was the cartoon from like the early 2000s. It was a popular show. It wasn't as popular as X-Men, the animated series, but it was popular. I liked it growing up. And Spike, for the most, he was a popular character. What's actually interesting, he didn't even have a comic book before the show. He was created strictly for the show. They made him Storm's nephew. And he was a popular character. He was. He wasn't as popular as a black character. He wasn't as popular as Storm or Static or Green Lantern or Cyborg or like those black characters from that era. But he's popular himself. When I rewatched the show, in the beginning, I was like, yo, this kid was really annoying. Like, he was hard-headed. He didn't listen to nobody. He was rebellious. He was a teenager too, but damn. As a matter of fact, he even had an episode where he almost got kicked out the X-Men because of his antics, but because he saved the team towards the end of the episode, he was able to redeem himself. If y'all remember, his powers were like bone spikes coming out of his body and whatnot. It was an OD power, bro. And then on top of that, his power got even more strong because he drank like a sports drink, like something. Hey, I don't remember exactly what the drink was, but he drank a sports drink and it turned him more powerful. And this was humans against the mutants. They were against them. They thought they were weird. They shouldn't be put in human society. And there were mutants underground living in the sewer. And Spike decided, like, the X-Men doesn't need me, but they need me. I need to take care of them. Like, they have no one protecting them. So he left the X-Men and joined them, living in the sewers and all that. That was using character development, character growth, a good way for his character to end his arc. Yeah, so with all that being said, I'm gonna give Spike, I'm gonna give him a B. He'll B. I'll give him a B. Let's see. Oh Lord. Ethan Popsicle. If y'all don't know who this is, y'all too young. He was in the movie Sky High.
You know what I mean?
With Will Stronghold and Layla and all those characters. Sky High was a really underrated movie from the 2000s. It really was. Like, it's in the same realm as like Around the Hedge, Monster House, that era. Sky High's in that underrated range. Now with that being said, let's talk about this dude Ethan right here, dog. Look, I love the representation of a black superhero here. But they gave this cat the absolute worst power you could possibly have, the most useless power. Yo, let me put y'all on real quick. Let's say you grow up in a world full of superheroes. So you go to a school full of superheroes. You got friends who are super strong, super fast. They geniuses. They can freeze time. They can go back in time. They can grow plants. I think that was Layla's power, if I remember. All this, like strength, all that, super speed, all that. And the power you have is what? Being a puddle, being a popsicle. Like, bro, honestly, if that was me, I would just hang it all up, bro. I don't even want to be a part of this world, bro. What are you gonna do? A man gets in your face, want to fight, uses powers on you. What you want to do? Turn into a puddle? Hope he slips on you? Yeah, I'll pack it. I'll be a civilian at that point, dog. Be a civilian at that point. Like, that power is just horrible garbage. That being said, he a F, bro. Trash. Respectfully. He was smart. He was smart in his own way, but like, that power is just, Storm. We just talked about Storm with Spike. Listen, Storm is literally one of the first iconic black superheroes you can think of when you bring up black superheroes. I don't even gotta say. That's not even a debate. Her powers, she's Marvel's Wonder Woman for one. She can control the weather. She's the leader of the X-Men. Like, bro, African, you know what I'm saying? Grew up in Harlem. I liked Halle Berry as Storm. I didn't love her as Storm because I'm like, alright, y'all could have went with a dark skin and whatnot. But I mean, hey, I didn't hate her as Storm. Like, I liked her in X-Men, X2, X-Men: The Last Stand. I know a lot of people hate The Last Stand, but I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. Alexandria's ship, though, when they turned the characters on, I hated her. Her Storm was awful. I did not like her Storm. But when you think about Halle Berry Storm, when you think about X-Men Evolution Storm, when you think about X-Men the animated series, yeah, she's an S. Storm is an S. Like, she's an S, without questioning. Alright. Miles Morales. Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper. Miles Morales. Okay, before I talk about the good with him, I'm going to talk about the bad. For the most part, he's still somewhat a new character. Like, he wasn't made until like 2011. I think, if I remember from the comics, that was when he was first created, 2011. Essentially, he was a tokenization of Spider-Man, of Peter Parker's Spider-Man. That's what I didn't like. It didn't necessarily, I mean, he had a few different storylines here and there, but for the most part, he's essentially always going to be under the shadow of Peter Parker. Because let's be honest, y'all. When you think Spider-Man off the top of your dome, are you thinking Peter Parker or are you thinking Miles Morales? Like, you can't compete with 50 to 60 years of Peter Parker, bro. So that's the bad thing. Let's talk about the good thing. As of right now in 2022, Miles is at the peak of his popularity. Like, 2018 really is what elevated Miles. Like, he has Spider-Man PS4, that made him popular. Intro to the Spider-Verse, that made him popular. But I can't really put him at S tier because essentially when you think of his name, you don't even think of him per se. But he is getting very popular. He's almost there. So I'm gonna give Miles an A. He's an A. Almost there. Almost legendary. Woo! This dude right here, dog. Look, man. I'm all for a representation. Batwoman may have been the worst superhero show I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna go more into depth on that when I get to Batwoman's turn. With that being said, I feel like Batwing was probably the best. That was the best part of the show. He was the best thing about that show, and that's not really saying much. Like, I mean, he's very smart. He was really helping Batwoman in season 3. I'm gonna be honest, he's meh for me. I'm not gonna call him trash, but he's very meh to me. I'm gonna give him a D. He's a D. Spawn. Look, Some of y'all might know Spawn, but I'm telling you right now, Spawn is tough. Spawn is tough, dog. Al Simmons, coming from the pits of hell. Alright, so his backstory. Alright. So Spawn was essentially, he worked for the government. He was like a trained assassin. He worked for the government. He was killed and betrayed by his own people. He was killed and betrayed. But because he murdered a lot of people, he resurrected himself, but not from heaven, from hell. And he had it all, bro. Super strong, super durable. Bro, he could even shapeshift. All that. Look, if y'all don't want to read the comics about Spawn, I recommend, if you guys want to learn more about Spawn, watch his cartoon shows in the late 90s, Spawn on HBO Max. I promise you, it's tough. It is tough. He had a movie in the 90s that came out too with Michael J. White that didn't really do too well. But to be honest, I think it didn't do too well just because of his time. Like, that type of storyline with that, during that time, it wasn't really popular. It was kind of weird to do. But if Spawn comes out now, that movie will do numbers. As a matter of fact, I think Jamie Foxx, there's like a report saying that Jamie Foxx and the original creator of Spawn, they want to make a movie. Like, that's coming out sometime in the future. Jamie Foxx's Spawn will be tough. But because he's kind of unknown, like, unless you was an OG who remembers that time, like, this generation is not very known. But, like, based on my 4 criteria, my personal bias, some characters are going to be exceptions to the rule. And that's going to be Spawn. Spawn, to me, he's an A. I'm going to give him an A. Alright. Misty Knight from Luke Cage. She ain't got no powers like that. Like, her thing is more like hand-to-hand combat. Even though she lost the arm, she's still good hand-to-hand combat. And she helped out Luke Cage a lot. She did. And she worked for the police, so she would help Luke Cage when it came time to solve crimes and whatnot. She was a good ally. But she don't got no power. She don't got a suit. She don't got... She's mad. She's mad for me. I'm giving her a D. Let's see. Come on, y'all. Do I really have to explain where this character's gonna be placed? Alright, listen. Okay. Listen here, man. Listen here. Oh, I'm scrolling. Static, bro. I can argue he's, outside of Storm, he's the most iconic black superhero. The most iconic black superhero. Outside of Storm. Literally. If you was a kid like me growing up in the 2000s, the 2 most relatable superheroes as a black kid growing up was Static, Cyborg, dog. And the thing about Static was so tough, man. Like, and if you read about him in the comics, his comics was just as good as the show that came out, Milestone Comics. Like, everybody wanted to be Static growing up. Everybody, bro. And here's how you know Static is still iconic and popular. If you were to look up on YouTube the history of Static, or like damn near any Static YouTube video that relates to him, he has damn near millions of views. You know why? Because he still resonates. He still resonates, even though he's been off the air since 2004. And I know he was in Young Justice. I don't know, like, I ain't really rocking with Young Justice as much. They don't give him enough screen time for my liking. That's fine, because it's not just about him. It's about, like, the Young Justice. They did a new thing with his character. Well, like, so in the OGs, he got his powers from the Big Bang. We already know that. But in the new comics, they have him get his powers from like a Black Lives Matter like rally. I didn't really like that storyline too much. But yo, his powers too. He damn near has no limitation with his powers, and on top of that, he's still very young. Like Static, bro, he's an S tier, and I don't think you can't even. If you want to debate that, hey, that's on you. Static is S. He an S tier. I might be very biased, but listen, that's an S tier. Yo, this tier list order down here is nasty. But how I go from talking about Static, now I gotta talk about Batman. Alright, listen. This character right here, the show was garbage. Straight garbage. You feel me? I don't think anyone can really debate that. If you want to, hey, listen. That's on you. I think the reason why this show suffers with alone, it don't suffer, but one of the main the CW. The CW, I'm gonna get on that a little later. When I talk about Black Lightning, Thunder, and like, bro. Catwoman was so ass, bro. Like the forced agendas and the cringe dialogue, like these writers wrote. I'm the 327th baby of a black woman who died during childbirth that year. Who, as a person who lives in real life, who talks to people, who talks like this in real life, my nigga? Like, who talks like that? Nobody. Do y'all know people's 327? Stop it. Like, the dialogue was cringe. She was able to put the suit on with, like, zero issues, like, no training. Like, they tried to make a backstory about how, like, she learned at the YMCA how to fight. This storyline was just all over the place, dog. And her character is just very, very unlikable in season 2. When she replaced, I forgot her name from the first season. She replaced her. She came on the show. She became Batwoman. She was just a know-it-all. Like, she was just very unlikable. However, now the good thing about her, if I would have ranked her strictly on season 2, she would have gotten an F. But she is better as a character in season 3 before it got canceled. But to be honest, that's not really saying too much, because when you're at the bottom, I mean, how much worse can you get? But because her characterization for season 3 was better than season 2, and she was just a tad bit more likable, she don't get an F. She got a D though. She's very meh. Very meh. Woo, Frozone from The Incredibles. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was pondering upon them in the ass just to troll, but I ain't gonna do that. Listen, Frozone was iconic too. Like, amongst us little black kids growing up. I can't tell you how many times, damn near Halloween, I would see more Frozone costumes than like a Green Lantern, a Blade, a Cyborg, or even a Static. Static, nah, I'm not gonna say Static. But the rest of the guys, I see a lot more Frozone costumes. Frozone's tough. You know what I'm saying? His ability to freeze. And he was hilarious. Like, I love his character in both Incredibles 1 and Incredibles 2. But I can't really put him in S tier because for the most part, he's a side character. I feel like if he would have got his own spin-off movie, that movie would do numbers because Frozone is very popular. Like, I feel like social media even made his character more popular because of the memes. My Super Soul? Where's my Super Soul? And plus, it's Samuel Jackson voicing him, bro. Like, that couldn't have been a better match. I can't put him in S though because of what I said earlier. But however, I am going to put him in A. He is an A. I'll give him that. Icon, bro. Milestone Comics came in the early 90s, dog. Icon. Augustus Freeman. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Icon is tough, bro. Icon is very tough. Though I just didn't like how his origin story. He's arguably Black Superman. As a matter of fact, he even fought Superman. Like Superman said, like that's the hardest he's ever got hit. It wasn't a real fight. It was just to make it look believable. Bro, he's like LeBron, bro. When I say like LeBron, I mean like his belt. He's like 6'8", 290. Bro, he has superhuman speed, super strength. Doesn't get tired. He has superhuman senses. The only thing I didn't like about his origin was just how, okay, so he's an alien. He flies to Earth in the late 1800s, and he takes the life and appearance of people who found him. The people who found him were slaves in the deep South. Come on, dog. And then the reason why his last name is Freeman is because the slaves got freed. I'm like, all right. I don't know. And then like he ages very slow. So what he would do is, as time would go on, he would just pretend to be his son, and then pretend to be his grandson, and then great grandson, and so on and so forth, which is pretty clever. I ain't gonna lie, that's clever. But the slave story, I'm like, all right. I mean, I see what they did there, right? Ooh. With all that being said, Icon, he's tough, bro. He's very tough. I can't put him S tier because he's still not very well known. His comp, he's a tough one to rank. Because if I talk about his powers alone, he would be an S. But because he's not very well known like that, Icon. What do I want for? You know what? Fuck all the known shit. Like I said with sponsors, there's some guys who are going to be exceptions to the rule. Icon would be an exception to that rule. He's an A. I'm going to give Icon an A. He's an A. I mean, he was in Young Justice, but that's really the only form of media he has outside of his comics. And he's not even in Young Justice that much. Lawyer too, like he's a great role model, bro. Great role model. Ooh. Like I said with Batwoman, I was going to talk about CW, bro. CW, because the reason why I'm talking about CW now is because as y'all can see who's next, it's Thunder. The CW it's a corny channel, bro. Like, all the dialogue is cringe. The sappy music. Don't even get me started with the fight scenes and the music they choose for these fight scenes, bro. Like the dialogue across all the shows on the CW is just corny. It's very forced. Whether it be Batwoman, whether it be Black. Thing is, I still like Black Lightning. I like Black Lightning. I'm not putting that in the same category. But Black Lightning, don't even get me started with All American, man. Don't get me started with All American. But with that being said, let's talk about Thunder. Her powers, she got amazing powers, bro. Like, great powers. I just can't stand her character. Like, her character, she got her powers and she just thought she could. Okay, so first she was a vigilante. She was robbing people, right? She was robbing them bad guys' money to build fundraising for the church, and that backfired. And then her dad would tell her, don't do this. Like, listen, we gotta do it the right way. She would always tell her dad, Black Lightning, I'm grown. I could do whatever the hell I want. You're not the boss of me no more. I'm alright, bro. And then she would fuck up. Go run to her dad for help. And then she was just like, oh, I'm sorry. It was just like kind of like the same repetitive thing over and over with her, bro. She was very defiant. You know, I ain't really like Thunder like that. But because it's not just my personal bias, I gotta talk about it. Is her impact really up there? And is her powers up there? Yeah. But where do I want to rank Thunder? I'm thinking very hard about this, though. I'm gonna give Thunder. I'm gonna give her a C. I'm I'm gonna give her a C. If y'all think she's arguably a B, but was not, I'm not gonna give her a B. Is just because I didn't like her character in Black Lightning. I genuinely didn't. Speaking of Black Lightning, speaking of Black Lightning, I like Black Lightning as him as a character. I felt like his family did him wrong a little bit too much towards the end of the show. But him personally, I genuinely like Black Lightning. I think he's a lot like Static, and as a matter of fact, they even talk to each other in the comics. I wish we could have gotten there in real life. But the only thing is, he's Static, but he has more limitations than Static, as you can see. Like, whenever if he uses powers too much to a certain extent, he will hurt himself. So I feel like I can't really give him S tier for that, because Storm is Static. When it comes to their power, the sky's the limit. Do I really want to give him A? Is he A? Is he an A? I don't think he's an A neither. I'm going to give Black Lightning, he's not average, but I am going to give him a B. I'm going to give him a B. M'Baku from the Black Panther. He don't really got no powers. He's kind of like Okoye, where like he's a warrior, and if y'all remember from the first Black Panther, he has tried fighting T'Challa. He challenged T'Challa to be the king. He lost. They found her, and then they were eventually able to reconnect. I like his character though. I wish they showed him more in Wakanda Forever. I'm not gonna speak on Wakanda Forever right now. I'm gonna save that for another video. But I feel like his screen time in Wakanda Forever was very much cut short compared to his screen time in the first Black Panther. He was funny too. Because of his lack of powers and his lack of screen time, but he was still a good warrior when it came to hand-to-hand combat. I'm gonna give him a C. I'm gonna give him M'Baku a C. Nah. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I might offend a few people with what I'm about to say for Green Lantern. Or maybe I'm not. If you were a 2000s kid, I don't care what nobody. If you were a 2000 kid and you grew up with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, Green Lantern, John Stewart Green Lantern is our Green Lantern. I'm not just saying black. I'm just saying if you grew up in the 2000s in general. Look, I know you got Hal Jordan. I know, look, cause I already know some people may disagree, but Hal Jordan is probably, but Green Lantern, John Stewart Green Lantern, he's number one. You can make a case he was somewhat like the leader of the Justice League, depending on the episode. And remember how I said in that era, Static and Cyborg were the most relatable. But when you looked up to role models from that era, GL, man, John Stewart from Detroit. I'm gonna give Green Lantern with his popularity too during that time, along with everything else. He a S. I'm gonna give Green Lantern the S. Legendary character. I still hate how. I understand how Jordan is the Green Lantern, but that 2011 movie, I would love to see Idris Elba as Green Lantern in the movie one day, after John Stewart Green Lantern. But yeah, he slept on a lot. He needs more love. Blue Marvel, okay. Blue Marvel, I'm off rip based off representation when it comes to movies, when it comes to shows. Blue Marvel is by far the most underrated superhero on this list. By far. Like, it's not even close. His character was made a little before Miles Morales. His first issue came out in 2008, if I remember, 2008 or 2007. I don't remember which year directly, but I know it's around that time. But Blue Marvel, dog, he's like a lot like Icon. He's like a black Superman. Like I'm not gonna compare him to Icon. Let me stop. But superhuman strength, speed, stamina, reflexes, endurance, senses, durability. He can fly. He can generate and control negative matter energy based on antimatter. Like, bro, he was tough. The fact that he only has the comic and he's not even like made an appearance in the show or even have a movie is crazy to me. Like, I feel like the only reason why Miles Morales was able to pop off and get a movie or a show before Blue Marvel was because that tokenization to Peter Parker Spider-Man, so that helped him a lot. I hope we see Blue Marvel soon, bro, like in a show or a movie. Obviously, since Phase 4 is over, because Phase 4 was garbage. He's not very well, he ain't really well known like that. He's not, his impact isn't really like that. His powers make up for that, and my personal bias is going to make up for his lack of him being known. I ain't gonna lie, Blue Marvel, I'm not gonna give him an S. However, I am gonna give, he's an A. I'm gonna give Blue Marvel an A. He deserves that. He deserves that. Alright, let's see. Ooh, Blade. Okay, here's the thing about Blade. Anti-hero, vampire. He has all the strengths of a vampire with none of their weaknesses because he's still human. Blade is tough. Wesley Snipes did his thing, bro. Like, he literally checks off all the boxes in my criteria. So y'all probably already know I'm gonna put Blade. Like, I know you had movies before Blade, like Batman and Robin, Spawn, Fantastic Four. Like, these movies were not successful. And once Blade was made into a trilogy, once he got his first movie, and I think it was 98, I wasn't even born. I wasn't even born by the time his first movie came out. But bro, once his movie came out, that was when superhero movies were taken serious. Like, I know Sam Raimi, Spider-Man, and X-Men get a lot of credit for that, but it really was Blade that kicked off like this generation, not this generation, but this era, genre of superhero movies. And he got 3 movies. His third movie was horrible, but I mean, hey, he did his thing. He made his impact, bro. His impact, his powers, I fuck with Blade personally. He an S. Blade is an S tier superhero, black superhero at least. And he's supposed to have his own show or movie soon coming out. Hey, whenever that comes out, we'll see what happens with it. But hey, oh my goodness, this cat right here, Nightwing, not Nightwing, I'm bugging, Darkwing. From Invincible, yo. Omni-Man packed his ass up. And I'm talking easily. Like, he a Walmart Batman, all that. Look, dog, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Darkwing is an F. He don't got powers. He ain't really well known like that. He don't got the impact. He 0-1 in life. 0-1 in life. Okay. This might be my most controversial take on this video when it comes to these superheroes, right? Listen, I love Black Panther and Civil War. Like, a lot of people, when people talk about Captain America, Civil War, when you talk about like the breakout star, a lot of people say Tom Holland, Spider-Man was the breakout star. No, he was not. The real breakout star was the Black Panther. He was bloodthirsty, he was tough, he wanted revenge for his father's death. I love everything about Black Panther and Civil War. And then, you know, he had some screen time in Xfinity. Infinity War and Endgame, but I didn't really. Before, cause yo, it's crazy we had to talk like this now whenever we don't like a movie, right? Listen, y'all, I'm black and I'm Cameroon, I'm African, so y'all can't take my black off from me. But listen, I want y'all, if y'all actually watch Black Panther, don't think, because look, people will love to bring up like the race. He's the first. Some people are saying he's the first black super, which was Blade, which is stupid. A lot of people say Black Panther, he represented us. The hype that came out around this movie wasn't because of the movie. It was more so for the culture. I remember it. I remember it vividly. But I did not like the first Black Panther movie. I felt like the fight scenes were meh. His character wasn't as I don't want to say as interesting, but it wasn't as imposing as he was in Civil War or the other Avengers movies. And also with that being said, I feel like with Chadwick Boseman passing, that turned to Child's Black Panther. He like the Biggie Smalls of black superheroes. Has one or two great albums, but he passed before we can really resonate with him like that. If we being honest, I can't. His run was really cut short. Maybe Chadwick Boseman rest in peace. I can't put him in S tier. Like me personally, I don't. The MCU. When I say overrated, I don't mean it sucked. It was an okay movie. But like the 9th highest grossing movie of all time, was it that good? Nah, I think it was the most overrated MCU movie, if I'm being honest. Like, depending on the hype. I watched it 2-3 times. I watched it the first time, I said, yo, I want to love it like how everybody else loved it. The second time I tried watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to like this movie. And then I tried watching it again because, you know, it's on streaming services now. I can't give it an S. But I'm going to give him an A. He was almost there. We'll never know what would have happened with the child if Chadwick never passed. May he rest in peace. Lightning. From Black Lightning. I loved her character. She's actually more powerful than Black Lightning. More powerful than her sister as well. I'm gonna give Lightning, I'm gonna give her, she a B. She with her pops. I'm gonna give her a B. Falcon. Like, I don't know why people are calling him new Captain. I'm still calling him Falcon. He was Cap's right-hand man. He didn't really have powers like that, but he was tough in his own right. He was for the most part, he was a side character. I mean, he got his own shit now on Disney Plus. But when we talk about the totality compared to the other characters who are ranked in S, A, or even B to a certain extent, I'm gonna give him a C. Shuri. Okay. Here's my take on Shuri. Here's my take on it. On her, I should say. In the first Black Panther movie, if I would have ranked her right after the first Black Panther movie, she would have gotten a C or a D. She was very corny to me, dog. Like, she was very corny, bro. Like, with the lame jokes. Like, when y'all put memes in movies, it's just not funny. Like, as a matter of fact, I remember the first time I watched it in theaters, no one in my theater laughed, bro. Nobody. Like, I was dead corny. Now, her character, she has great character development in Wakanda Forever. I'll give her that. She took up the mantle because her brother passed. She's a lot more serious because she's grieving. And the writers of Marvel from the MCU, they said she's the smartest. Like, she's the smartest one. She's smarter than Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, and she's smarter than Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. That's a big deal. On top of that, she is Black Panther now. I'm gonna give her a B. I'm gonna give Shuri a B. Cyborg. Look, dog. I love Teen Titans growing up, and Cyborg was my favorite character for obvious reasons. His powers was unmatched, and what I always remember about Cyborg was how he was able to push himself past his limits. If y'all remember that episode, he couldn't because he's half robot, but he was able to do so when his team and when his friends and family needed him the most. I mean, if y'all want to talk about him in the Snyder cut of the OG, not the OG, but the recent Justice League movie, y'all can talk about that too, because he was, outside of Flash, he was one of the main important reasons why they won that too. But when I think Cyborg, I think of the OG Teen Titans, not Teen Titan Goes, not the Justice League movies, and none of that. Yeah. Cyborg, and he's very popular. Cyborg is very popular too, in his own right. Got the impact, got the powers. I love them. Yeah, he a S. Cyborg is S tier, my God. Easily. Nah. Rocket. Now, if y'all remember what I said about Icon, like his backstory, his origin, Rocket, that's his sidekick. Well, his right-hand man. And how she came about. So she grew up in Dakota. Her and her friends, I shit you not, like y'all can read in the comments, her and her friends was just like in Dakota after the big bang. She was trying, her and her friends were trying to catch a lick. So they tried to rob a crib, like they was trying, but they robbed Icon's crib not knowing he was home. And the Icon basically scared him off, and he just let him go. He just said, don't come back and whatnot. And then she found out that Freeman was Icon. So she came back to the crib with a better idea, and then, if I remember correctly, did she make it suit? I don't remember. It's been a while since I read the comics. But she came up with them saying you should be a hero, and the Icon agreed, and then she had no powers. But Icon let her fight with him, and he gave her a belt, and the belt was essentially what gave her all her powers. She gets a lot of love. She gets more love than Icon and Young Justice as far as screen time shows. But Rocket. If there's one thing, they made her a teenage mom and being a superhero too. I mean, that's cool too, but it's like, it's a little Mary Sue. Not Mary Sue, but did y'all really have to make her a teenage mom? And I'm not really, I don't know, I wasn't feeling that storyline too much. But hey, shout out to Milestone. They gave us a lot of great black superheroes though, for real. What do I want to put Rocket? I'm gonna give Rocket a C. She a C. Luke Cage. Hey, Luke Cage, he a force, brother. He a force, man. Like, experiment gone wrong in prison, wrongfully in prison. His story is actually a little sad, like his origins, like how he got his powers. He was supposed to die, but like he got powers from it, super strength, bulletproof. And I like this show on Netflix. I hate how it got canceled after 2 seasons. Okay, he tough. I'm not gonna say he's almost legendary. I'm gonna say he's above average. I'm gonna give Luke Cage a B. Y'all gotta understand, bro. I try to be very strict when it comes to giving S and A tier, like, because like if you give everyone S and an A, it's not gonna really, it ain't gonna mean as much. It really not. So I'm gonna give him a B. War Machine. Iron Man's right hand man. He cool, but the thing is though, he's a lot like Falcon, or he doesn't really have a lot of shine because he's just always going to be a side character. So I can't really put him at S or A. He doesn't even have his own powers. He has a suit. Or do I want to put War Machine? Yeah, because when I think War Machine, I think Falcon. As far as like character development goes, I'm gonna give him a C. He a C. He tough for what he has. Bishop was a popular character, I think, a lot in with X-Men animated series. And the new X-Men though, like Future of the Past, I don't know. Like his power, he's able to absorb a lot of energy when he went back in time to try to save the world in the X-Men animated series. I do remember that. Bishop. He's okay, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna give Bishop. He calm C. Nick Fury. Now he don't got powers. He don't be in the. Whoa. I was about to say he don't be in the field battling, but that sounded crazy. My fault, gang. His impact is big because he literally assembled the Avengers. Samuel L. Jackson did a great job of what he was given. He don't got powers like that, but his impact is big. He's not mid because he literally been assembled. He's the main reason why the Avengers are a thing. Made that whole team. I hate what they did to his character in Captain Marvel, but one movie doesn't make up for the other 10 years he's been in the MCU. So he's not D or F, but he is a C though. Off that impact alone. Woo! Catwoman. Good gosh. I want y'all to listen to me very clearly. I gave Halle Berry love playing Storm in the S tier, bro. But if you actually watch Catwoman in the 2000s, bro, or even now, I tried rewatching it before this video to see if it aged at all. It didn't. If you think with the right head and not the wrong one, that movie was trash. This Catwoman was trash. Straight garbage. So I'm gonna have to give Halle Berry's Catwoman an F, respectfully. Y'all may not remember this Disney movie that came out in the early 2000s, but I remember it though, and I rewatched on Disney Plus and all that. Up in a way, it was about the Marshall family, like their middle son. He's the only one who hasn't gotten his powers. His whole family did. It's a cute movie for a Disney movie, but I can't give him the upper tier because like civilians can pack them up. If y'all remember in the movie, his friend, he's like, "Hey guys, my mom made y'all food," but the thing is, he packed the food in aluminum foil. Now this some racist shit. Whoever wrote this some racist shit, bro. On me, bro. You know damn well if you can't go. So you mean Tommy's family go to no cookouts? They can't take food from nobody, bro. Aluminum foil is their weakness. Knowing damn well black people be using aluminum foil all the time when they want to save food, when they want to give food out to family. whether it be a cookout or a big family dinner, you got teachers, fake teachers was able to pack them up before they got saved at that because it's a Disney movie. But the powers, like the mom, the dad, the brother, the little sister, I'm putting them all in one category because I'm not going to dissect each Disney character for that. Nah. They're a D. Respectfully. Good movie though. Valkyrie. Valkyrie. She doesn't really get too much screen time compared to like Thor and Loki and the rest of those guys, or Hulk in the movies that she's been in. But like a lot like Okoye and a lot like M'Baku, she's a warrior. She be fighting. She got hand-to-hand combat. She got some gadgets too. She always drunk though, which is cool. Nah, that's not cool. I'm lying. Yeah, she's in that tier. She's in the average tier. So I'm gonna give her a C. Okay. All right. As much praise I gave Okoye and Shuri as characters, I disliked Wakanda Forever. I did not like that movie. That movie had no business being damn near 3 hours long. And not only that, they had no reason. Why is Riri in Wakanda Forever? What was her purpose? Alright, backstory. I think her first issue came out 2016. Like, that's only 6 years ago. And she's already in Wakanda Forever. Or she already in a movie. And she's about to have a show. She's about to have a show coming out in like late 2023 on Disney Plus. Excuse me, yo. I'm hiccuping. Bro. And on top of that, she was a lot like how Shuri was in like the first Black Panther movie, where she was very corny with her jokes. Her comic book, she was a tokenization of Tony Stark, like a carbon copy of Tony Stark, of Iron Man. Genius, intellect, all that. I did not find, she was very bland in the comics. I did not find her funny or cool. Like, I was going to give her a shot, maybe Wakanda Forever, but she was corny in that too. And here's my problem, bro. Here's my problem. How is it that she's already getting her own show on Disney Plus when she's the newest character, newest black superhero who had a first issue already? How is she getting a show? How is she be able to appear in a show and movie before guys like Icon, before guys like Blue Marvel? Hell, Storm never even had her own standalone show and movie. Like, I don't understand it, bro. Hell, Green Lantern don't even got his own movie or show, but she gets her own show. And I will understand if she was like popular, if it was by demand, like she was so popular, she getting her own show, usurping the rest of those guys. But I don't even think she was that popular in the comics, which makes no sense to me. I don't know. I really don't like Ironheart's character. Who knows? Maybe when the show comes out late next year, I'll change my mind. Well, how the Disney Plus shows have turned out so far is not really looking too good. But I mean, hey, how she keep getting a show before this? Okay, I'm gonna talk about it next. With that being said, though, she's not trash. She's still relatively new, if we want to be honest. She's meh. I'm gonna give her a meh. She's a D. Alright. Hardware. Hardware. A lot like Blue Marvel in the sense of, alright, both come from Milestone Comics, but they both never appear in any show or movie. He had a reference though in the OG Static Shock show when Richie finally became Gear and we got his powers and he was thinking about names. He said, "How about Hardware?" Virgil's like, "Oh no, that's taken." But that's pretty much the only form of media outside of comics he got. Bro, he's a lot like Tony Stark. But the thing is though, his suit, I think his nano suit was before Tony Stark's suit, if I remember correctly. Not only that, his suit gives him super strength. So he's 6'1" in person, but when he puts the suit on, he's 6'6". He can lift 40 to 50 tons. He got super strength. He's a genius too in his own right. I think he graduated college from like 15, 16, if I remember from comics correctly. I'm gonna give Hardware. I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give Hardware a B. I fuck with Hardware, for real. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a B. Damn, that's it. That's the end of this tier list. I think this list is alright for the most part. I'm just looking through, see if I'm wild in front of these picks. Got just as many. Okay. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I think this list is straight for the most part. Look, I love making this list. It was fun, like going back and rereading and rewatching all these characters, like shows and comics was a fun thing for me to do. I'm gonna be making a lot more tier lists like this. Since school's over, I got nothing but time for the time being. So we'll see what happens next. Alright, so yeah, if y'all like, I'm gonna download it so y'all can make a tier list like just off these characters too. Hopefully y'all see when I do save and download it. But yeah, this was fun to make. So if y'all like this list, let me know. If y'all dislike this list, let me know too. Like, comment, subscribe, bro.